Hey everyone, Dave Johnson with CyberNorth, here to show you another thing on Cohesity. The first video that I did was talking about converting a Windows file share from a Windows server to a Cohesity view. I've always been a big proponent of not running file shares on Windows servers, and one of the kind of the pushbacks that I've gotten in the past is around antivirus scanning. And so I wanted to show you today how to set up antivirus scanning on a Cohesity view. This is done through a marketplace app. I'm going to use the ClamAV marketplace app. There are others that are available. So we're going to start with going to the marketplace, and we can go, and there's a summary tab that we can look at. This is, excuse me, this is 651B that I'm looking at. The latest LTS as of this recording is 631. So this may look a little bit different for you, but it's all documented how to set these up. So we're going to go to all apps. And in here, and it's going to bring us to the Cohesity marketplace. And eventually we're going to get to Helios, but we're going to go down through here, and you can see there's a few different apps that are available. You can build your own. It's one of the things that I hope to eventually get around to doing. But I want the ClamAV, so I'm going to click on Get App. This is going to bring me into Helios, and if you just go to Helios, then you can go and do everything right from there. So I've already kind of said, hey, these are the apps that I want. Picked most of them, and from here, of course, we can just say install to cluster. I'll pick my cluster that I want to install it to that's in my lab, and we click install. If we go back to my apps, after a few minutes, this is going to show up, and then we can configure the antivirus scanning. I'll resume the recording. It's not done installing yet, but now it's showing that the download is being initialized. The ClamAV app is less than a gig in size, so this won't take all that long. Okay, so the application has been installed. Now we just need to run the app. Before we do that, a couple of things that I want to cover with you that may need to be set up before we can actually use the apps. It's set up on my cluster. So if we go into the cluster settings here, we're going to need to configure an internal network. This is internal to Cohesity. Just needs to be a private subnet /16. This is not going to be out on your network. So just pick a subnet that you're not using and throw it in here. In 631, I think the actual enable apps management is on this page as well. So I'll go back to my apps here, and this is the thing that's in that previous screen where you enable apps management, and then it'll ask you for the network, the internal network that you want to use, and then allow external connectivity from apps is something that we should turn on as well. So this is good. I don't need to do anything else. Go to my apps again, and we'll run the ClamAV app. I just leave it as default here, and run the app. So this will take a second to initialize, and once we have that all up and running, we can then go into file services. And this is done again different ways depending on what version of code that you're on. So I'm going to go through and try to do this actually kind of the old way that you may need to do in 6.3.1, and it should work in this version. So I'm going to go into my department share view that I have, go into settings, edit my settings, and antivirus. And we're going to go ahead and turn this on. And then I have some settings here. We're going to scan on open and close, all files. We won't exclude files based on file size for this. And if it times out, well, then it's going to block access to it. Go ahead and click update here. I think that saved. Nope, it didn't save. So let's go to the antivirus tab over here. We're going to go to providers. And see, I had this running before, so now I need to, it's probably this bottom one. Let's see. Nope. There we go. It was the top one. There we go. That's enabled. And now here, I can do it the same way. This is the part where if you do it the old way, it probably wouldn't let me do that before because I didn't have a provider enabled. Let's go back and check. And we'll turn on the antivirus here. Yes, 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 yes. And click update. It's still not liking this. So let's go back to antivirus and secured views. And we'll pick department share. There. All right, it let me add it this way. And now that ClamAV app is scanning files on open and close. And so we're protected, and your security team is going to love you for being able to do that. So thanks. If you have any questions, just comment on the video. I'll get back to you. Reach out to me any way you want. Thanks a lot.